Good morning, everybody. I am not prepared because I'm looking for my overlay that I was going to use. But today I wanted to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville and the review, or should I say the exposure interview. And all things in this video are alleged. They are from my opinions only. They are used for entertainment purposes. The exposure interview. Uh, mm, I think it was a hot mess personally, but I want to talk about trying to go in here to see a couple of things off of the episode. I'm not going to just dissect the episode. I just want to talk about a couple of things that I saw that I thought I didn't agree with or that I had thoughts on. Let's go here.
In regards to the lipstick and his whereabouts, or what I'm trying to address now, because it's in regards to my husband and it's coming from you. I think that's not cool. Your opinion on an arrest. My issue is this. And to be fair, your kind of cavalier attitude about it, like I'm not going to talk about it, really doesn't help me feel like that it was unintentional. I don't know. Do you have some kind of information, some kind of proof, some kind of something that would lead you to believe that? What would make you say that?
I feel like you asked me like how dare I ask questions about something. I'm gonna ask questions.
Melody is a wordsmith. That's what I call Melody. And so I believe she uses her conversation wisely to get to the place that she wants to be. And right now, not talking about what she said when she said it is weird to me, because you can talk about it with Tisha and you can talk about it with Trisha, you can talk about it with Maurice. But when I bring to you how I feel about those conversations, now we're not going to talk about it. The implication in conversations that you're making, going around talking to people in regards to the lipstick and his whereabouts, are what I'm trying to address.
Okay, now, in my personal opinion, Kimmy is, excuse me, she's coming to Melody because she has questions, right? She says she have questions as to you're going around talking to other people about my husband and you're not talking to me. But when she came to you, because like you said, she came to you first, which she did. When she came to you, you said you didn't want to talk to her in regards to the DUI. And in my opinion, when it came to that whole situation, it was all lumped together because you didn't want to talk about the DUI. Hence, you don't want to talk about, well, you only wanted to talk about what was public knowledge. And what's public knowledge is he was arrested for driving under the influence. Now, what's not public knowledge is what we saw the mugshot. However, whether he had lipstick on or not is the question, right? But you don't want to talk about it. So since you don't want to talk about it, now you're making it seem as if she shouldn't talk about it either because you didn't want to talk about it when she came to you. Who's to say what all she would have asked you when y'all had the conversation, but you shut it down? Remember a few episodes ago when everybody was talking about how Kimmy shut Mel down, she shut her down, she showed her she didn't want to talk. Okay, you didn't want to talk. You did not want to talk. So what is it that you want to talk about now? You didn't want to. You wanted to say what was public knowledge. And in her, when she said what was public knowledge, and she was like, okay, so that's a yes. Don't put words in my mouth. Don't put words in my mouth. I didn't say that. Okay, you told her to run with what was public knowledge. And from what people saw, he had lipstick. Me personally, I didn't really look at him to see if he had lipstick, because I didn't see it. I didn't really give a shit, but I didn't see it. However, in my personal opinion, do I think Maurice has cheated? Yes, I do. And the fact that he said that he's been with 6 women in one day, yeah, I think he's cheated. I do. And if we being honest, technically, if we're going to go on technicalities, as some people do, as it relates to Melody, but not as it relates to other people in this group. So when Maurice and Kimmy got together, technically, he was still married, which makes him technically cheating. Same thing applies with Melody, right? Me personally, I don't really give a shit about it one way or the other. But that also would make her a side chick that she doesn't want to be. She likes to say she's not one of those. But I'm trying to understand why it is that you want to have this conversation all of a sudden, even though I know production edit stuff however they want to. So as far as we can tell, I don't know, because I can't say for other people. I don't know how these scenes were shot. I don't know what was seen first, or what scene was done first, and then they meshed it in there the way they wanted to. I don't know. Based off of this, they're saying she saw Kimmy first. Maybe she did, maybe she didn't. I don't know. I don't know how far after she saw Kimmy that she saw Trish and that she saw Tisha. I don't know. And also don't know how far it was when she saw Maurice. Now, in this episode, when she was talking to Maurice, I felt like Maurice was lying. He was gaslighting, because when Mel was asking him, because he's talking about she attacked him. I don't feel like she attacked him. I feel like she came at him and asked questions that of course he didn't want to answer, because he wanted to hit well, tell me what you know, even though you weren't there. Of course you weren't there, so she won't know all the specifics as to what happened. And being that you were arrested on a DUI, if you were drunk, I don't feel like you knew the specifics of everything that happened, because you're saying the police weren't there. Okay, the police were not there when the accidents or whatever took place, because according to some sources, they're saying that there was a accident, which was how the police got involved. No, they weren't there at that particular time, but evidently they came for you to get arrested. So now you're going, oh, they don't even know what happened. They don't even know what happened, but they know enough to arrest your behind on a DUI. They knew enough to do that. And for you to sit here and try to, because I felt like he was doing the lawyering talk thing. So I feel like he wasn't trying to, he did, because it seems like, he felt a way after she said that he shouldn't have came back after he got arrested. Instead of him feeling remorse or sorrowful for what he did, instead of him showing that, as we all know, he went back to black, and they were screaming and hollering, "Free Reese, free Reese, free Reese." He pull up in the little orange, is that orange Lambo or whatever? He pulls up in that, and then next thing we know, we seeing him holding a bottle of, what was it, Hennessy? So you had no remorse for what you did the day before. what you were just arrested for. You were locked up for driving under the influence of alcohol, only to go back to the scene of the crime to get more alcohol. But the only thing Kimmy is concerned with is you're saying you saw lipstick on his lips. But then also in this episode, you got Kimmy sitting here saying, well, little do they know I was with him. Obviously not, homegirl, because we go back to some of these previous episodes. You were talking about, well, Tisha said you were asleep or you were out shopping. You said you were asleep and you woke up wondering where your husband was. So you went to credit one because you thought he had went there and fell asleep. So how you gonna sit here and say he was with you so it couldn't be lipstick because he was with you? Why are you sitting here lying? It makes no sense. So that's why I'm like, I don't know what order they're filming these episodes. I mean, not these episodes, these scenes, and they're just throwing it in there. And the thing about it is these people sitting here and they're saying stuff only to come back in a later episode or in a later scene where we're seeing where they're contradicting themselves. So what is the purpose of this? And don't get me wrong, I feel like Mel was being messy in this episode. I do. Do I care? No, I don't. Because they have been in her business and talking about her since season 1. Now, even in this episode where Kimmy is sitting here upset because Mel won't come and tell her about what she was talking to Tisha and Trish about, prior to this scene, we saw where Trish and Tisha, my bad, were sitting there telling her about the conversation. Was Trish was telling her about the conversations that she had with Mel when Mel was asking her all those questions. And guess what? You had questions. You had stuff to say. You're sitting there saying, well, it seems like you still care. So you had input on what you wanted to say in that particular conversation, which you had input on all of their business for how many seasons? Even in this season, you and your husband are sitting here getting in other folks' business because y'all talking about y'all need to sit down and get to the bottom of the Sonny and Moses situation. Why y'all needed to do that? Because instead of talking about your own junk, your own stuff that you got going on, you're more concerned about what's going on in other people's business. And then once your business get pulled to the front street, it's a problem. Now you confused and scratching your head and you feel like, you feeling away. Why? Why are you feeling away? I mean, I feel like it's about time that y'all clock in or pretend to clock in. Now, do I think Melody really gives a shit about what's going on with y'all for real, if we being honest? No, I really don't think she really cares to the point that, she's just trying to point out stuff. What I think she's trying to do is give y'all a storyline. She's trying to give y'all something to talk about outside of her. But of course, you're still not going to talk about anything outside of her because she's the one that brought it up. So instead of being upset or addressing the situation, you want to be mad and address her about why you going around here talking about my husband. Shit, y'all talked about, you talked about her, you talked about her ex-husband, you talked about the bird, y'all done talked about everybody. But it's a problem now that it's you. And Maurice gonna sit here and talk about, she just hurt. Dude, this ain't got nothing to do with being hurt. This got to do with the fact that you were driving under the influence. Be it right, wrong, or indifferent, you could have hurt somebody. or yourself, and you showed no remorse and no accountability for that. Yes, it got thrown out on a technicality. It does not change the fact that you were out here drinking and driving. It don't change that fact. It don't. Now, whether or not you was out there with somebody, I don't know. I can't say. I don't really give a shit. Because personally, I do think you have cheated. Hell, you're probably still cheating, because I really don't see you and Kimmy as being as happy as y'all want people to believe that you are. I don't believe it. I don't see it. I really don't. I really don't. That's just me and my thoughts on that. There ain't a whole heck of a lot that I want to say about this episode, because I thought the episode was, you know, I don't really care for the episode, if I'm being honest. I really don't give a shit. I think Marquez needs help. I think Trisha needs help. And with Trisha, when she was talking to Kimmy and Tisha, when she was talking about, she wanted to smack everybody, she definitely has, I feel like she has anger issues and a lot of stuff. She needs to go to therapy. She needs some deep therapy. I really feel like she needs some deep therapy. But my thing, when she was talking about she wanted to smack Melody, was it because of the fact that Mel said she felt like you still loved your husband? Because I do feel that way. Now, I felt like Marquez threw shots. He threw a shot, but we being honest, Trish and Ken been throwing shots since the doggone season started. They've been throwing shots at this man since he's been on there. Now, I don't know what was the actual, I don't think Ken actually answered the question of whether or not he could have kids. It doesn't seem like he can. However, I don't feel like that was, I understand the reasoning for the question, and he probably can. His little soldiers probably ain't marching. Them tight shorts and them tight Speedos or whatever he wearing might be done, stopped his little soldiers from being able to perform the job. In my mind. I could be wrong. I don't know, but I feel he probably can't have kids. I just feel like he hasn't, and it's commendable of him trying to step up to the plate and be there for Trish and the kids. That is commendable. I get that. I do, however, sounding like Kimmy, feel like Ken oversteps himself a lot. I do. I feel like Ken oversteps himself a lot, because I can't sit here and think that you and Trish, saying y'all haven't been together but so many years, and you feel like you are so ingrained in these kids' life. It just gives y'all been messing around a whole lot longer than what y'all saying y'all are. Because most women, when they start dealing with somebody, they don't just automatically bring the guy around their kids like that. It is a lot of unanswered questions in regards to this situation. I feel like there's a lot going on there that we do not know about. There is a lot. Now, Marquez has a lot of issues, but so does Trish. Honestly, I feel like Marquez and Trish need therapy and counseling, and I feel like Trish needs counseling, and personally, I feel like she needs to be by herself. Definitely don't need to be trying to get married. I don't think until she fully separates herself from the situation with Marquez, she's not going to completely heal, because it feels to me, from what I'm seeing, that instead of her processing and getting over, instead of her closing that book, closing that chapter in her life before she moved on to Ken, that chapter is still open. And I was always taught to close a chapter before starting a new one. And it's a lot of messiness in this situation because Marquez triggers her a lot. And I just feel like she should have completely shut that down before she would overhear with Ken. So that's why I feel like there's something going on there. They were messing around or something before her and Marquez split. Because you know how people be in a situation and out there cheating and get caught up and the grass is greener on the other side. So she went out there thinking the grass was greener. And in a way, it might be, but we can't say for sure because you haven't fully separated from your old grass, because your old grass is just brown. So now you're over here with Ken because you're thinking that it's greener, but you don't want to marry that man because you still got your sights on the man that you was with. But hey, y'all will figure it out, I guess. In my mind, I don't really give a shit. Ain't got nothing to do with me. I don't. But it was nice of the son to try to tell Marquez, you know, why you over there with them folks? Why are you talking? Hey, you doing too much, homeboy. You doing too much. But you know, my thoughts as far as that doggone episode goes, I think they got a lot they need to work on in general as far as that goes. A lot. But as far as this freaking interview, whatever this was with the bird number 2 and the whore, I don't know what the hell. Look, if this is supposed to be the proof that these folks are cheating, don't get me wrong. Do I think Marceau has cheated on Tisha? Yes, and hell yeah. I think he has cheated. Do I think he's cheated with this lady? Honestly, I can't say, but this does not give me the receipts that the receipts weren't receipting in my mind. They were. Because look, Marceau and Tisha are not my favorite people. Hell, nobody on this screen is my favorite person. But I don't feel that the receipts were receipting. I don't. Now, do I feel like Marceau and Maurice has cheated together? Yeah. But that's my opinion. Do I think these, because with me, I know y'all are saying that y'all brought this lady because she's supposedly proof. This interview was more of the bird trying to tell us what happened between her and Martell. We don't give a shit. We don't give a shit about you or Martell. Hell, we was just there to be nosy to see what y'all had as far as it went to Marceau. We don't give a damn what done happened in y'all relationship, situationship. We don't care. Because you sitting over here trying to rub on this man and bring all this stuff about you because you want to be on the show. We don't give a shit about you. We don't. We do not. Now, this lady bring herself out here looking like a damn fool. This was the stupidest shit. This was stupid. Now, I recall Carlos talking about at the reunion, they're going to have receipts on receipts and receipts on top of receipts. And then there's going to be somebody whose receipts will not be receipting. And my personal opinion, that's giving me Martell, because these receipts were not receipting. And I know people are probably going to be like, why you didn't just show a video or something? Of course, he can't show a video of, you know, anything because he shows a video that's gonna play into the revenge P. Because then they're gonna be able to hit him. Well, he already been charged with harassing communications, right? We know that they knew about the revenge P first, right? But I can't see him coming out showing a video of them together like that, because that would definitely solidify revenge P, in my personal opinion. That's why I feel like it won't be that. But I feel like if you were truly his mistress for a year, then you should have known a lot more than what you did. I felt like you should have had text messages. There should have been a text thread. Because let's be honest, most women, if you're dealing with somebody, especially if you felt like this dude had somebody, you keeping that text thread. You got that text thread. You should have showed the text thread, or you done snuck up. If he done laid up there and y'all done went to Vegas or wherever you went, you try to tell me you didn't get one picture. I just feel like you just came on here and made yourself look like a whole fool. This gives me they coached you. This really does give me they coached you in this situation. It does. And it ain't a good look. And I feel like, and of course, am I surprised by it? No. Should anybody else be surprised by it? No. Because Tisha opened up this door when she said the man was gay. You opened this door, but at the same time, it's the fact that Tisha ain't the only one that said you were gay, Martell. That little bird that's sitting up there with you that made this whole interview about her, because that's what it was giving. That you claim y'all were doing the interview on one side chick, but the other side chick was trying to push herself out there to make it seem like she had the personality, the charisma, or whatever that she would think that the viewers would want to see on a season. No, homegirl, we don't want to see you. Hell, I don't want to see you in this because you didn't do a good job interviewing. The lady couldn't really finish her not her answers, because the bird kept interjecting and putting herself in it. Kept asking Martell about stuff that he did while he was married and was messing with her. And this ain't about us, Martell. This isn't about us, Martell. But bitch, you the one that keep bringing it up. You are the one that keeps circling it to you all. You keep doing it. Martell don't give a shit about you. Because at this point, y'all both need to just let this shit go. Call it a day. Call it a day. That's just how I feel about it. I just feel like it's just, it's stupid. And I'm over Martell. I'm over the bird. I'm over the season, if we being perfectly honest. I am over it. Now, am I going to continue watching? Yeah, because I want to see how it ends. Of course. Now, do I agree with some of this stuff? I'm enjoying Mel being in her messy bag, though. I am, because the same stuff that she's doing, y'all have done this to her since season 1. So now that the tables have turned and flipped, and now they're doing it to you all, hey, it is what it is. All is fair in love and war, right? I like it. Y'all love it. But, like I said, I don't feel like this interview gave what it was for. Because even with when Martell went live, when he went live, he was supposed to be showing receipts, right? I didn't see the receipts that he was supposed to be showing. What I saw was Ariane trying to get in the doggone camera She's telling him to read the comments. He gave the phone to her, told her to read. And all she did was sat there and looked. She didn't read no comments, or she didn't answer any comments. She didn't answer any questions. You just sat there and looked like a fool. So what was the purpose of you telling him to answer something that you didn't even do? Interact with the people. Interact. You didn't even do that when he gave it to you. But it is what it is. If y'all like it, I love it. But at the end of the day, we the people, and I can only speak for me, but we the people do not want to see Ariane Bird Curry on this show. Hell, I don't want to see Martell on the show. If we being honest, I don't give a shit about seeing the Scots on this show. I don't. I think it need to be a recast of a lot of people. It does, because what they got going on right now is a hot ass mess. And those are my thoughts on it. And that's going to be it for me. And thank y'all for taking the time to listen to me talk about my thoughts on this bullshit ass season, episode, and interview. With that being said, I will talk to you guys soon. Y'all have a great day.